Hi guys, and welcome to the next episode of my van build series, and in today's video I'm going to start installing the first fix wiring throughout the van, and I also want to try and get the ceiling cladded. So the majority of my circuits are going to be running this 2mm stranded 2-core cable, and this is rated up to 25 amps, so that should be suitable for the majority of my 12 volt circuits. So all my circuits are going to be run from this corner of the van, and then I'm going to have a ply panel here that I can mount all my electrical components to. As you can see, I've already started running the cables. This is for the split charge relay, this is for the socket at the front of the van, and this is for the skylight fan. It's a really good idea to add labels to your cables so you know what's what later on. It's also worth having a rough plan to follow so you know where you're running all your cables. I've got one plan here for my 12 volt system, and I've got another for my 230 volt system, so I know where to run my cables for the sockets, etc. Where all the light switches are going to be, where the lights are going to be situated. So I've already run this flexible conduit down the side of the van here, so I should be able to just feed my wires through here and they will end up where I want them to be. I'm going to run one cable to start with just so I can get the length of the cable, and then we can feed them all through at the same time. I've said previously this flexible conduit's a really good idea, as you don't want your cables rubbing against the sharp edges of the van, chafing through, because you'll have electrical faults later on down the line. So I've run my 4 circuits up to this point. This is going to be the main control centre for the van. So inside this cupboard here is going to have the controller for the inverter, the diesel heater controller, also the solar charge controller module, and then we're going to have a switch panel for all our various 12 volt circuits. Currently I've got 4 circuits, one for the 12 volt lighting, one for the water pump, one for the diesel heater, and another for the 12 volt sockets. I'll probably run another one in just to future-proof the van, just in case we want to add any additional circuits in the future. Before I get carried away with the wiring, I just want to fix these ceiling battens to the roof of the van, and that'll give us something nice for us to fix our tongue and groove cladding to. I've routed this channel in it so our cables can run through here for the lights. I'm now going to show you how I'm fixing these ply battens to the ceiling. So I start off by drilling a 4mm hole all the way through the ply and into the metal roof beam. So I'm going to drill my hole there. I'm now going to open up the hole in the ply using a 5mm bit. Like that. I'm now using an M5 tap to tap into the metal. I can swing this out the way so you can see. I'm then going to countersink, so my hex head sits below the surface of the ply. I'm just going to use a large drill bit for this, but if you've got a countersink, that's great. Be careful not to go too far through. Just enough so the hex head will sit below the surface. Now I'm going to get my small 5mm bolt and washer, put that through the hole, and then we can zip it up to the ceiling. $4mm drill bit all the way through. 5mm drill bit to open up the hole in the ply. Large drill bit to countersink the hex head in the ply. M5 tap to tap through the metal. And a short M5 bolt and washer. There's my battens fixed to the ceiling. I now need to fix some battens down these side bits here. Same like I did with the ceiling, but just slightly thicker so that it makes the cladding come out past this lip here, and then it'll look nice and neat down the van. I've got a load more of these roofing battens and I'm just cutting them down to length. So I've run all the cables for the spotlights down the centre. There's going to be 5 spotlights down here and then 1 off to the side above the sliding door. I'm just soldering up my lighting circuit here. One thing to note is it's got to be running parallel for the light, so you don't get one light dimmer than the next. So red to red, black to black. And this is my new soldering iron I'm using. This is off of Amazon. It's a really nice soldering iron. It's got temperature control as well, so it's better than the last one I had for sure. It comes with a solder sucker. Comes with a solder sucker, this little carry case, a stand which I'm not using, and lots of different tips. I'll put the links in the description below if you want to get one. 1, 2, 3, it's got to be tucked up there, 4 and 5. And then there's going to be a switch down here on the wall for the first 3, and then in the bedroom area at the back there's going to be a separate switch for that one down here. So I've just fixed this in loosely at the moment, so now I know the spacing that's going to go here. I've got something to finish my ceiling up to, so I can measure my first board to go in between here. And you won't see these screws because it will be covered by the fascia. I've just cut the holes evenly between the skylights. I'm not sure whether it will look good or not. We'll soon find out. I've run the centre board down there. I think it's pretty central, hopefully. Well, I've got it as central as I possibly can using the weird shape of this van. So hopefully all the other boards line up. I'm going to start cutting the boards down and slotting them in now. I was originally going to use these panel pins for securing the cladding, but I've decided to go for screws, mainly because of the vibrations. I don't want these panel pins vibrating loose, whereas a screw is much more secure. Down at B&Q they've got this little pick and mix bag. It's £2.50 to fill it up. You can buy a box of 100 for £3 I think it is, or you can fill one of these up for £2.50, and I've got over 400 screws here, so that's a winner. She's in. Let's move up a bit. It's a bit of a manky one. I think I'll leave that one for somewhere else. Marking a line across the ceiling where I can put my screws. Nice and neat. All the screws are in line. There you go. So unfortunately I couldn't get any longer cladding, so there is going to be this small joining piece. I'm just taking my time to line it up so you don't see the join as much. So I've got to be extra careful around here, and then it should be a straight run through there. just used this guided trimmer router bit, and it's got this bearing that runs around the inside frame, and that cuts the pine flush with the frame. Just putting a couple of screws in for now, because we'll want to take this off later to varnish the ceiling, or I haven't decided quite what I'm going to do with the ceiling yet, what finish. So this is the middle section of my skylight that turned up broken. It had a cracked corner here, so I've just super glued up the cracked corner and then run this 45mm trim around the inside, and that also makes the frame slightly deeper so we don't see the edge of the wood in the ceiling. I'm just measuring to make sure that the skylight's parallel with the ceiling cladding. 5.8 and 5.8, lovely. And on this side, 6, perfect. I'm really pleased with how the ceiling's turned out. I like the natural pine colour. I may just use a clear varnish to protect the wood. I hope you've been enjoying the series so far. I've got 8 episodes out now, so if you haven't seen the previous episodes, you might want to go back and check those out if you're interested. And if you enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you click the little alarm bell, you'll get notifications when I post new videos. Thank you for watching as always, and hopefully I'll see you next time.